Alright, well, sorry if you can't hardly hear me. It's windy and cold, just damn miserable for the 2nd of April. Here's my manure spreader. It's a 327 New Holland. Anyway, the frame rotted on it. Just used it until I couldn't use it anymore. I don't know if you can see down here, I've tried to take all the bolts off, said heck with it, and I cut them, and then the pieces of frame. Here's some down here. I gotta get all this cleaned up, but I'm trying to knock it off first. Just completely rusted through. I was really hoping I could just unbolt this thing from one end and slide that frame all the way through, but it doesn't look like it's going to be that easy. So each one of those boards is probably going to have to come out. I was hoping not to have to take that bed apart. There's just a lot of bolts to have to cut and undo. But then again, I got to do the same to this side. You can see right there was one of the worst things that happened this year. That's how I knew the frame was rotted. It was rotted on both sides. But that just comes from not getting cleaned out as good as I should have, I guess. Anyway, she's got a lot of miles on her, but what a good wagon. I just couldn't see not fixing it. So anyway, that's what we're up to. Yeah, it's gonna take a bit more time than I was hoping for. One of the reasons I got to remove the boards in the bed is what do I want to call them, like not tie pieces. They're not tie rods, but they're pieces of steel, angle iron, whatever they are underneath. They go from one side to the other, holding the frame together, and they also give the bed something to bolt to. So anyway, that's what I'm up to here. Old New Holland 327. Let's see. Yeah, here I am. Probably can't even see me with it, but here she is. Here I am. Alright. I'll make another part of this video as soon as I get more work done, but today is too dang cold and windy. Okay, it's the 8th of April, 2021. This is basically a video 2. What's going to be a short series, excuse me, of fixing up this old 327 New Holland manure spreader. Got it from a friend of mine, awful nice guy, helped me out. And we used it for quite a few years. Gosh, I don't know. Seems like 2 or 3, but it's probably been 4 or 5. Anyway, if you saw in a previous video there, the whole running, the frame, the corner frame, the lower one where the bed is, on both sides just completely rusted into pieces. And the axle finally dropped and things just weren't doing good. So what I've done so far is on both sides I've removed that whole corner of the frame. And I don't rehearse this stuff, so I stumble for words. That's alright with me. Yeah, so I've been pretty busy. I did not want to take that bed out. As you can see, it's out. Still got a heck of a mess to clean up. I just finished cutting everything out, literally. All the cross members going across that that attach to the frame and that the bed bolted to. I've got all new steel for those. I'm gonna flip this back around here. Anyway, yep, both sides. There's about 2" by 2" might have been 3/16 steel. You can see my last remaining piece. I've got to get a chisel and try to get that out. I mean, it's loose, but it's not, certainly not loose enough. Anyway, take you for a look inside here. One thing holding the back end together is the apron axle and the beater axle, if you will. The sides are in pretty good shape, but the only spots they had rust were right around the bottom. Again, where the corner of the frames were. And so I've got my work cut out for me. There's the two pieces of, I think I bought 2 1/4 by 2 1/4 by 1/4 inch thick. A little on the long side, so I can always cut some off. I have a lot of bolting to do. I've got new cross members, they're the same thing. I couldn't find these bracket braces online, so I bought some 3x3 steel to try to do basically the same thing. I'll put in a few more of them. One here, probably one in the middle where that thing is, that strap, and one up here near the front. But anyway, this is video 2 of whatever, question mark, I don't know yet. Probably 2 more. I'll get all the frame pieces in there and bolt it up. Not gonna weld any more than I have to, because boy, one thing I've found, especially on this, is wherever somebody welded something, you can't always get an angle grinder into a corner and sawzall, you bend blades, and what a hassle just beating it out with a metal chisel. So everything's going to be bolted as much as possible and try to overdo it a little bit. Anyway, that's it for today. Thanks. Okay, it's the 17th, 16th of April. Made a little progress. I don't know if you can tell, it's just a rainy, kind of crappy day here, as those things go. I've got of course, the whole bed I took out, and I finally got the frame rails going down the sides. Got those cut to length, bolted at the front. Now I'm going to put the cross members, which are laying over here on this tire. Put those cross members in, and then they had these brackets on the side, which I really like. I don't know if you can see that, but there's only really one on each side. Nothing in the front, and oh, I'm sorry, there's 2 on each side. One in the back, one in the middle, nothing in the front. I've made a few more of those. I couldn't get them for what I considered a decent price and availability online. New Holland, excuse the garage here. But anyway, right here's a group of brackets I made out of 3x3. Was that 3/16? I don't think that was the 1/4 inch thick. Anyway, I've angled the tops to match just like the existing ones. Sorry about the mess in the background. Anyway, so I made up 6 of these, 3 more on each side. One thing I found is I'd rather overdo things than underdo things, because that's come back and bit me before. I'm sure it has plenty of you. So at the lower frame end, I'm going to start to, like I said, put some of those cross members on. We'll go from there. Well, here we are again on the 18th of April, and I can't remember which was the last video, but I got those bottom rails in, and now I'm starting to do the cross braces. May or may not be hard to see with all this sunlight. Something we haven't seen in a while. Yep, so what I've done, you can see on the outside here, trying to use the existing gussets or whatever these are. And underneath, tying into those, I haven't tightened my nuts and bolts up yet. And I've added my own type of gusset support. I've got a lot more to add, this thing. And to that, I added this bracket. What did I just do? Alright, added this bracket to add their bracket for the frame. By the time I'm done, this will be more stout than the original. Let's see now if I can flip this around. Yeah, you can see me. It's tough to see with the sunlight. But same thing on this side, I just haven't gotten quite as much done. Still a bit of a process to go. I'm finishing up on these. Cannot see nothing in this thing. Finishing up anyway, there's a bracket down here. The original one. Getting that bolted on. And then I've just got to add more of my own gussets along the way. A couple more cross members. And then I can finally get into adding some wood into this bed. So, slow as she goes, we're getting there. You can see everything here. Yep, it's a lot of tedious work, a lot of drilling, a lot of pilot holes, you know, then your sized hole, getting everything clamped, lined up. One thing I've learned, at least in my experience, is I used to weld a lot more things. Like I, in the past, would weld these cross members to that angle frame rail. But I've just learned that, especially with this, I've run into it with this where somebody welded. If you got to take something apart, it's so hard with a weld to get into a corner. So much easier just to cut a bolt off, and they're just as strong, if not stronger in some cases. So anyway, that's what I'm up to. Make another video as I get a little further along. Oh, here we are up to the 27th of April already. Got some cherry boards cut 1 inch thick. I'm going to lay them in the bottom and hope to heck that that's enough. Here's 2 side by side before I put the rest in. I'm going to make sure that chain goes over the ends there. And over here, I've got a tire with the tube out. I got a new one on order. The other tire was good, this one was flat. Yeah, it's pretty bald, but it'll get me through a few more years. Yeah, a lot of junk to clean up this spring. But anyway, that's the 327. Almost done with it. It's been taking a little time, but we're getting there. Hello there, it's the 30th of April, 2021. Trying to finish up this 327 New Holland manure spreader project. Here goes the cherry behind me. Putting that down on the floor. So I wanted to just go through, turn around here so you can see the back part of it, by the beaters. And got a lot of work to do still, but what I wanted to show you is how I was going to fasten this thing. So I've got those cross members, the steel ones that I put down earlier. But to hold these down, I'm also screwing them with outdoor, pressure treated rated screws. And behind those angle iron cross beams, I put in 1x4 strips of cherry also to tie all these down to. Now, in the front, middle, and back, then I'm also, after that's all done, I'm going to put carriage bolts down through each of the boards into and screw through the angle iron cross members. So the wood is temporary. I mean, I'm never pulling it up. It's not really temporary, but it's not what's going to permanently fix the floor. But it is going to get everything fit down tight and ready for me basically to drill and put in the carriage bolts. It's a little extra, but a little extra is worth its weight in gold when it comes to something like this. This is going to take a lot of abuse. Yeah, you got that tire tube put in, so both tires are put on. Anyway, real quick video just to show you the floors coming along. Wow, it's loud. Well, here we are, May 1st, Dad's birthday, opening of turkey season. Don't know if you can hear all that. It's alive! Alright, one of my big rules is don't get off the tractor with the PTO running, but just for a minute. Boy, some things go together, right? Red, white, and blue. And yellow. Nothing like seeing a New Holland connected to a Ford. Just beautiful. Alright, well, as you can see, the restoration's pretty much done. I gotta oil the chain. Gotta oil that deck up good. Yeah, you can see a lot of things wiggle and wobble that probably shouldn't, but we'll get to that over time. I am so happy to see her back in business. There's 5600. Big blue for me. Alright, just wanted to share that.